Hi guys, welcome to this episode of Dad to Dan. In this episode we're going to have a little look at, once you've booked a meeting, how to really make the best first impression when you get in there. People often say that the first few seconds matter so much, so we're going to really have a little chat to Dad, see what he thinks and what his best tips are when you go in and meet someone. Okay then Dad, we're in our meeting. How do I make a good first impression?
Well, you're going to struggle, Daniel.
I'm sure I will.
I think it comes down to like all the things in life, really, isn't it? You know, the first thing is a visual impression, and you know, yeah, we don't want to get in that sort of cliche thing of everyone wearing, you know, big swanky suits and you know, big ties and whatever. But yeah, the best way to think about it is mimic your customers. So whatever your customer is likely to be wearing, whatever band you're pitching at, whatever sort of level of person, then if you wear similar sort of clothes to them, and then one, you can't get it wrong because you're not going to upset anyone, you know. So because they're wearing the same sort of stuff, but also they feel comfortable with you because they think they're looking at you thinking, oh, he must be a bit like me because he's got the same sort of clothes, you know. Yeah. So so it's very good to try to understand. So if you're going to high level big boards, then yeah, you need power dressing, the big suit and everything, because that's likely what they'll be wearing. If you're going to see a farmer on a farm, big suit, is not going to work. You need, your wellies and your sort of, your check shirts or whatever it might be, so, mimic whatever your customer's going to be wearing.
Okay. Is there anything else that I would need to do for my first impressions?
Well, I think nowadays, of course, the first greeting is important. Yeah. And the old handshake. And handshake, there's a whole thing, you can read books about handshakes, you know. But I think there's all different philosophies about handshakes. I don't know if you've come across this. Yeah,
well, I mean, I've seen a few body language stuff on
TV. And they always used to say that in sales you should try to have a domineering handshake to sort of put the person in. So go and give me a hand. So it'd always be either you'd turn the hand up that way because you're on top, you're in control, or if they were doing that, you'd have to hold it like this to be so your hand was on top. Yeah. Another thing, and you see this, Donald Trump does this. He pulls people towards him. It's a dominating thing, and I think it's all a bit too, a bit much really. Because the thing is, what you want the person to be comfortable. And if you start doing a weird handshake, but thinking this guy's a bit weird, what's he trying to do? Yeah. So I think it's just firm, and of course looking people in the eye. Yeah. It gives them confidence about you if you can look someone in the eye, and when you say hello, say hi, I'm John. So I get clear greeting, what you're there for.
I suppose when you were sort of talking about the handshake and etc. I suppose a lot will depend on the customer themselves or the potential customer. How important is reading your customer?
Yeah, it's a good point, because obviously they're judging you. Who's this guy? You're a stranger. I mean, they're a bit anxious. They've invited you into their house, their office, whatever it might be, and they're trying to work you out. But you've got to work them out. So that's why working out the sort of delivery that they're giving you, the response they're giving you. Are they flustered? Are they sort of panicking? Are they looking at the clock? Yeah, well, yeah, it's great you're here, but obviously they haven't got enough time or whatever. They're looking at the clock. So it's always good to sort of start the meeting with something like that to clarify the situation. So right, hi. So yeah, have you got 10 minutes today? We booked a meeting for half an hour. Is that still okay? Just to check that. So they're giving your permission. Always get their permission to carry on, because otherwise, if they don't, then or you start your presentation, you start your flow, and you haven't got that permission. They can get flustered because they'll be looking at the clock and going, well, sorry, I didn't realise we'd take this long, or something like that. But you tell them first, and then and again reiterate why you're there, because you might have had a phone call. That phone call that you booked that meeting with might have been weeks away. They've probably forgotten who you are and why you're there. Yeah. So just reiterate. If you remember, we had a telephone conversation a couple of weeks ago. I was coming to come and speak to you about software or whatever it might be. Yeah. So.
Okay. Obviously, greetings are all well and good when you perhaps have gone somewhere or you are meeting somebody new. Obviously, you'll have meetings and greetings with customers who may be coming to the office or maybe coming into your environment or something like that. Would you act differently?
Not particularly differently, but there's still the process should still be the same, in terms of greeting and obviously thanking them, for taking time out of their day to come and see you, but then again set out what the purpose of their visit is and what you're going to do with them. So what I thought we'd do today is we just get a quick coffee and then we go down to see the machine, or we go down to do this, and then I've got a quick presentation. Is that going to be okay for you? Get the permission. It just kind of makes the whole process a bit easier, so they're more relaxed because they're coming in, they're a bit sort of like, well, I don't know what's going to go on.
Don't know where I am.
Yeah, you can say, this is what we're going to do. It makes it a lot more easier on them because it's like they're people, and they don't, they're going to be as often, if not more nervous than you are. You should be the person who's the calmest because you're the professional.
So, Dad, what about, you've got a customer, you've known him for a while. When do you have to let your guard down? When, do you always have to have this facade up?
Well, I wouldn't call it a facade, but I think there is, for me, I've always felt I should be professional, but without being stuffy, obviously, but being professional as much as I could, rather than some salespeople love the old sort of banter and all that, matey, let's go out for a beer and all that sort of. And I've never been that person, so I've always tried to keep a professional thing. But obviously, you can, the sort of whenever you meet a customer, as even as much as friendly as they might be, and how well you get to know them, they are still a customer. Yeah. And you'll soon find out that if you piss them off, they soon become not a customer. Yeah. You know what I mean? So just it can be very, I think, quite dangerous to start thinking, oh, I know him so well, I can get casual, I can do this and I can do that. You can be more informal. We talked about the greetings, and you should still, greet someone and clarify they've got the time to see you and what you're there about. In the same, but you can do it in a bit more casual way than the formal way. Is it alright still for 10 minutes today? But rather than more sort of formal. Hi, Mr. Sun, thank you for seeing me. Have you got enough time? So, but for me personally, and everyone's different. You should be yourself. Obviously, it's a key thing. But they are still customers, and you can't be too casual, because however customers think it, quite like the casualness sometimes, and they like to get to know you, and that's great. When it comes to it, if you're too casual, you forget that they're customers and they expect a level of service. And if you don't deliver that level of service, however nice you are, and they're going to start looking elsewhere.
And it is a business transaction after all. So.
Well, exactly, yeah. So I think it's more important to keep the business relationship, for me, going in some sense be for yourself, so you don't end up, because what you can do is you can get this point where you go, well it's only Mike, he'd be alright, okay, we're late on the delivery, but I'll give him a call, he'll be fine with it, and that sort of thing, and that okay goes once or twice, but after a while they're going to think, well, he's just taking the piss now,
Yeah, it'd be interesting actually to do something a little bit more on handling customers in another episode, maybe.
Yeah.
Hi, so quick book review for you again today, and the one I want to talk to you about is The 1 Minute Salesperson. If you can see that, and The 1 Minute Salesperson. Now you might not have heard of a thing called 1 Minute Management and The 1 Minute Manager, which was the original book. I read that book and I took a great inspiration to that when I was actually just in fast food management. And it really was a very insightful, quick and easy way on how to manage people. And The 1 Minute Salesperson is very similar to that, and what's really good about it is the way they talk about it is they take you through some stories of a person who's trying to get better, a salesperson who's trying to find to be a better salesperson. So you walk through the story with this person, and they meet these good and great salespeople. They give them their tips and they sort of implement them. What I really like about the book as well, particularly, is one, it's quite small, so it doesn't take a lot to read, but also is that it's split into about 2 sections. The first section is basically the story and the sort of how to sell. But the other section, say 50% of the book is all about managing your time and being motivated. And I think for salespeople that's the key. If you can manage to get motivated and keep focused, you're going to be far more successful than not, obviously. And it's very easy to get caught up in the sort of technicalities of how I should sell and what I should say and how I should do this. But if you don't get out there and do it, you're never going to get the sale. So being motivated and getting the tips and tricks and tactics and strategies to keep yourself motivated is as much important in sales as it is in any other job, I think. So yeah, good little book. So if you want to have a quick read of that, that's really good. Cheers, bye.